Hello, I'm Samantha Benn-Duke, and I just introduced myself in Cherokee. I'm an educator of more than 30 years, actually, considering certified, and times before I was certified. I live in Tahlequah. I'm from Tahlequah, and all of my teaching has been in Cherokee and Adair counties, mostly in Cherokee. I taught public school for 17 years. I worked at Cherokee Nation as an administrator and worked with the schools there, including the Cherokee Language Immersion School. And now I'm at Northeastern State University as an assistant professor of curriculum instruction, where I work with primarily elementary education majors, but also with special ed and early childhood, and the occasional secondary education major who comes and takes one of my classes for electives. So I am preparing teachers to teach. And to do that, I really build on my background in public education and at Cherokee Nation, in which I worked with all grade levels in multiple content areas. And so teaching is who I am. Teaching is pretty much what I do. I earned my doctorate from Oklahoma State University in 2016. It's in curriculum studies, and it has an emphasis in oral history, which is something that I greatly enjoy delving into. I applied for the fellowship because I was intrigued to become familiar with the museum and what the museum had to offer. As a person of Muskogee Creek and Cherokee descent, my family members from both sides arrived in Indian Territory in the 1830s as part of the removals from the southeast parts of the United States. So I saw a lot of wonderful potential in designing curriculum that could allow for a broader audience than what the museum already experiences. And I was particularly excited about some of the events such as the Summer Thursdays and the holiday events that the museum will be hosting. My project involves enhancing programs that are already in place, including some of the special events, but particularly a focus on the 4 tours, the STEAM, Energy, Leaders, and Premium tours. And I've also included a focus on the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression as part of the energy lessons, and then with the minority representation in the Leaders project. Also, I've included an activity that's related to sovereignty, which is now, as of the new Oklahoma standards that came out for social studies, sovereignty is now woven from grade 3 all the way up through high school courses. So I realize that teachers are struggling to find good lesson plans related to sovereignty. So I thought this would be a wonderful way to utilize the resources at the museum. So what I'm doing with the curriculum is I'm designing inquiry lessons that can be used as pre-tour or post-tour, and they involve activities that lead to critical thinking. So the students will be doing some very diverse activities that will be specific to the tour, but the teachers will have hands-on lessons that are ready to go that they can present to their students. Because as educators, sometimes we're aware of wonderful resources, but we don't always have a plan in place for how to use them. And so that's what these lesson plans are doing. They're building on the primary sources from the museum and allowing students to go more in depth and have better understanding of our wonderful representation from Oklahoma. I have high hopes for the impacts that I hope this project will make for students in Oklahoma and their better understanding of the people represented at the Gaylord Pickens Museum. I hope that students become not only more aware of, but more understanding and more interested in our history as a state and the people who make history, the diverse people who are represented in the museum, and the ways that they have impacted the lives of people not only in Oklahoma, but people across the country and even around the world. I hope to light some fires under some students as they begin to better understand who they are and where they come from, that they can understand that they too can follow in the paths of some of these leaders and even make their own paths along the way. So with strong curriculum and wonderful teachers and all of the resources that the teachers can invest in through the Gaylord Pickens Museum, I know that students will have opportunities to participate in experiences and learn about our amazing state in ways that students who aren't able to participate won't be able to do. However, these lessons will be publicly available, as you know, so they can benefit students who aren't able to physically visit the museum.